I moved my website from Ionos to Webador because initially they seemed to be good. They were getting back some good feedback. I started to build my new website on Webador and quickly came to the conclusion that it really wasn't as good as people were saying. I mean, it was okay, but not for what I was wanting. I was wanting to build my shop. Now, you cannot blame Webador for that. I mean, they just provide a service. That was it. But that was when my problems started, because there was a short period of time when you could cancel the contract, and I was well within that. The problem arose, though, that like many companies nowadays, any issues that you had, it had to be dealt with via email. Now, I'm a business, I cannot afford to wait till emails go back and forward. I also have dyslexia, quite severe dyslexia, and that writing emails and dealing with emails is very, very difficult. Although I do dictate a lot of the emails that I send, I find that to be much easier. So the first problem arose that was the response time. Well, it was the emails, then it was the response times. You got, like a lot of times with emails stuff, you can make it obvious that people are not reading the whole email. They'll read perhaps the first few lines. They think they are getting a sense of what's going on, and you get this stock answer that means absolutely nothing and does not address your concerns. And from that moment onwards, it took me, I think, 3 weeks to actually get Webador to cancel my contract. And even then, because the time that it took me to get them to understand what I wanted, it had went past the time you were allowed to change your mind. And there was this argument about, that I was there. Yes, I was quick enough. And at the end of the day, I mean, I took things and I just cancelled all the financial stuff. And at the end of the day, I got my money back and I got my website back. Then after that, I realised that whilst my website had came back to me, the email side hadn't. So I emailed them again and said, look, but I cannot use my emails, and it was my main email source name, and it took me about another week to realise that. And there was a girl there somewhere. She said it's already transferred, and she says, "Have you checked ICAS?" And I said, "No." I says, "I haven't, but I did check it, and here it was. It was back to Ionos." And the problem had been that there'd been no discussion between the two. Something had just been automated, and there was no mechanism. But when they did finally transfer it, they didn't let anybody know. So it had been sitting in in Ionos for about a week. So by that time, I was more than a little bit. I'm finished with Webador now. It is finished. I suppose I've got resolution. But my needs, my solutions are a wee bit wider, and it's a realisation that there are people out there who, for whatever reason, for me it's dyslexia, but in other people it's because it's hard for them to understand. They're being forced into systems that the companies understand very well, but the user doesn't. And I think people are getting a raw deal. They're led to believe, oh, that's the way it is. You'll just have to like it. And I would like somewhere for there to be a basic standard service that everyone gets, and that would include talking to somebody. not just that. I mean, I'm happy after that to go on to email only, but just to get set up, you know.